What's up, y'all? Welcome to my channel. Today is your lucky day. Hey girl. So I hear the girlies want a makeup for beginners video, so I decided, okay, let me ask them some questions first, find out exactly what y'all trying to learn. I asked, and what I have received, let me read just so that y'all know. What did she say? She said, let me see, because I made a poll in my hold on, I'm trying to get my setup right. There we go. Cut to y'all. In my replies, someone said, I want a natural look without too many steps. I like to use tinted SPF moisturizer with a little bit of bronzer, eyeliner, and mascara. And your wish is my command. Now, everybody can get away with just using a tinted moisturizer and no concealer. Because, baby, if you lacking sleep like me, you need some concealer, honey. Because look at these eyes. I just took my little eye patches off. But, yeah, that don't work for everybody. Sometimes we got to try to look alive and we need some concealer. So, I am going to add that. But I am going to keep this as beginner friendly as possible. Okay, so before we get into anything, we need to know the products that we are using. We need a foundation, concealer, a brow pencil, a setting powder, a contour powder. Okay, you need a contour powder and a blush and some lip gloss. How many products is that? A mascara. That's 8 products. Okay, 8 products. We can do it. Wait. I forgot to tell y'all the tools that we are using. I promise y'all my class is way more organized than this. If you want to learn a full beat, a full natural kind of soft glam beat, definitely check out my class. But we're going to use a powder brush, a blush or contour brush, then this is a foundation brush. And then we are also going to use a concealer brush. 4 brushes. That's it. Now we have gone through the tools we are using for our everyday face. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. We are going to go in. As you see, I've already done one brow. I'm doing the other brow now. And before I go in with my other brow, I like to hold my head down just so that I can make sure they're starting and they're leveled at the same point. I like to start by filling in the sparse areas of my brow. If you see spaces where you don't have any hair, go ahead, fill those in. And the key is using very, very light pressure, because you can always build, but it's hard to remove intensity once it's already there. So we're going to use very light pressure and fill in those sparse areas in our eyebrow. Then we're going to underline the bottom very lightly. And we're going to move on to the top. Fill that in very lightly, following our natural brow shape. The next most important thing is to blend as you are filling them in. Okay, so you see that other side of the brow pencil, the spoolie. You want to take that side and blend in product. But girl, remember they're sisters and not twins, because we're not going to be here all day. And just keep going and blending until you are satisfied. Now, because y'all want this to be beginner friendly, I don't know, I'm going back and forth. I don't know if I want to sculpt the brows or if I just want to show y'all like the natural way, because a lot of y'all are very intimidated about sculpting, and I don't like that because it's not that intimidating, guys. We just have to take our time, you know. I'm actually gonna sculpt it. Y'all gonna learn today, okay? So we're gonna sculpt the brows. But anyway, I went in, I filled the brows on both sides. They do look a little dark. The shade number I'm using is 4. If that's a little dark for you, use 3.5. I'm always between 3.5 and 4. Now we have filled our brows. We're gonna go in with our concealer. I'm using the shade Caramel. I usually use this when I'm not trying to overly highlight. Now when you're doing your brows and you're just going for a natural look, it doesn't need to be lifted too much. You want it to be close to your complexion. I've done my brows. I'm about to go in and we are going to sculpt. I'm gonna show y'all how to do that. Now if I'm up in the camera looking like this, doing my makeup, I promise I be trying to look cute doing these like tutorials. It's like not possible. I'm one of the people who be putting on eyeliner with their mouth wide open like Okay, so we are going to get into the sculpting. I just took my concealer brush that you see. I dipped it in my products. Now you do want to like wipe this off on the side of your hand to see like how much product you have. You don't need it to look very like, it shouldn't look very thick. It should be a very thin layer that we're going to apply. So we want to test it on our hand first, make sure it's thin and nice. And now we're going to go in and highlight our brows. So I like to start here. And you see like the pressure, I'm putting more pressure on my brow bone. And I'm just pushing and dragging the brush. See that? That's all I'm doing. And I like to start like 1/4 of the way, and then I'll come back and drag the brush again to meet that line. Okay, so the purpose of the dragging of the brush is to just really define the brow. Okay, so you see the difference? We just highlighted that. It's not too bright, it's not too light. So now what I'm gonna do is carry this down just a little into my eyelid, and we're just gonna press that down into the eyelid. Okay. All right, and you can take your finger if you want to. It don't have to be real fancy, y'all. We're not gonna carry it all the way down to our lash line, just like almost all the way there, because we don't want it to be too much product. So now we're gonna take our little finger, okay? Make sure you wash your hands. Wash your hands, girl. And you're just gonna blend that down to the bottom of your eyelid, because we don't want it to take over. And we're also gonna blend over here in the inner corner. Bam. Now you can also do this with a brush, but because y'all want these steps to be very simple, that's what we're gonna do. Now you see like the evenness in this eye, and you see the darkness over here. That's the whole objective of the concealer, is to brighten the eye and also add a little more emphasis on your brow shape. Okay, so how y'all feeling? Y'all okay? Listen, I'm holding y'all hand. We're gonna get through this, okay? So now I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Like as I'm pressing, I'm kind of like stretching my eye up. Like I'm really pressing and pulling. You'll see my skin being pulled, because that is how I define my shape. Okay, just like that. And I actually started at the beginning at that time, but I don't recommend it. Whatever works for you though, okay? If it works for you to start from the beginning, start from the beginning. But one thing you want to make sure is you're going to take your brow brush or your concealer pencil and make sure that you're even on both sides. You see, this line starts where this line starts. The bottom lines are meeting. So that's what we want. But like I'm going to carry it down like I showed y'all. Okay, so we are blending that out with our finger just like we did on the other side. And we're blending it right here as well. Like so and like that. Okay, so we've done the brows, and sometimes I like to take my finger and just wipe right here if it feels too like sharp. And yeah, just to diffuse those lines a little bit. Now we are going to take our setting powder, our loose setting powder, okay? Because we're using a loose setting powder. I'm using Huda Beauty, okay? Because she does not disappoint. This is in the shade Banana Bread. So that's the shade I'm using. And I'm gonna take some and put it in my little top. Boom. And I'm gonna take a little bit on a fluffy brush. And I'm gonna list everything that we're using in the description box, okay? So I'm going to just lightly tap on my brow and the concealer and just set that concealer. Just sweeping a little bit of that product over there. Okay, that's it. We don't want to use a super crazy amount because we are going to go back into our brows with some bronzer. But yeah, we're just going to keep it going. And we want it to be simple. I heard y'all. I'm going to deliver. We're doing simple, just simple glam. I like to do my makeup real simple. I don't put on foundation, but for those who want to wear foundation, I am going to take a drop, okay, on the back of my hand. Bam, bam. That's it. That is all I'm using because I don't wear foundation like that. So what I'm using is, yes, this is the light reflecting foundation from NARS, and I'm using the shade Tahoe. I'm gonna take my foundation brush, which is this right here. Now, the more dense the brush, the more coverage you're gonna get. If you want less coverage and you wanna feel like your foundation or product is barely there, then you wanna use something more wispy. You could even use a fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna take some on the back of my hand, tap it on my brush. You see how much I have? Now I'm just gonna put it in the areas of my face that I want evenness. I'm gonna put it here, 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 on my chin, here, and on my nose. So let's get to blending. That foundation is really pretty. Ooh. See, I'm not a foundation girl, but I like her. Okay, we're not putting any foundation past this point because we want to put as little product there as possible, and we're saving this space for our concealer. So when you blend your makeup, you just want to press, just tap, tap, tap. Okay, just tap. Now if you have like a loose brush like I just showed you guys, you can do the swirls and all that, but you want to make sure you're really just tapping and pressing it into the skin. Okay, and it's okay to wipe just a little bit, like a tap wipe motion, like a, you know. Okay, so we're not going too high up under the eyes. And we're gonna go here and on the nose. Now, I still got product left and I ain't finna waste no product. So we gonna go ahead and use the rest of that. But I love the way that this looks. Like, ooh, honey. Okay. I feel like I could use more coverage on my nose. That shade is just perfect. This is my first time trying this foundation. It's very like light. I really vibe with it. Okay, so we did that. Make sure we come all the way around. Don't be trying to look at my edges. And make sure you get on the sides of your nose really good and tap. Over your mouth, just everywhere, okay? All right, we did that. So I'm gonna tell you this next step, and it's something that maybe not everybody does, but I do. I wanna know how I do it. I'll show you how I do it. I like to get a cream blush, okay? I'm using the Euphoric Rush blush in the shade Energized by Morphe. As you can see, she's about done, okay? Because I use her and I use her all the time. So I just took a little bit on my finger. I try not to dip my products into the actual product because it's just a way to keep things sanitary, clean, and avoid bacteria and it build up. So I'm gonna put this little cream, this amount, also so you can see on the back of my hand. This is the blush that I'm gonna use. Okay, now I'm gonna tap it into my foundation brush that I just used. Make sure you wipe it first. I already wiped mine. And I'm gonna pop it on my cheeks. Now I like a lot of blush, but for the sake of this video, I'm just doing a little, okay? So here we go, tap, tap, tap. And we always put our blush like above, you know what I like to say? Really where the top of your ear starts, right there. And carry it on down. Just a little bit into the eye. You see that placement? Placement is so important when it comes to makeup because I really feel like it can make or break your makeup look. If you put your blush in the wrong place, girl, that's the difference between your face sagging and your face being snatched. Like, we trying to look youthful, honey. We trying to be lifted, okay? So we're gonna pop that in the same place that we put it on the other side. Bam. And I like to put a little bit on my nose. Now you can skip this step, but I like that look. I think it's cute. So I just put a little bit on my nose. Okay, how y'all feeling? How you feeling? Check in, let me know. Let me know how you feeling at this step in the comments. I wanna know if I'm a good teacher, if I'm moving too fast, if I need to slow down, if I need to redo this whole video. Y'all just let me know. Okay, so now I'm going in with my NARS concealer, okay? And I'm using the same shade that I used on my brows. Now, yes, you can use the same concealer that you put under your brows, but I like to use liquid under my eyes personally for concealer. I don't really use creams, so that's why I have NARS. I have the liquid caramel as well. But you are more than welcome to use this. So now I'm gonna take my concealer brush. Now, if you got a beauty blender, you can use a beauty blender as well. I just like to use brushes. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna, I don't know if I wanna get this at, okay. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm not gonna do the most, okay? So we are just going to take the product. We're gonna put some right here. Let's apply it before we blend it. This is just not the brush to do that, but I'm gonna show you guys. So we're gonna take it, we're gonna apply it right here and right there. See where I put it? And we just using a little bit, girl, just a little. We don't need a lot. So now I'm gonna blend this in, and I'm gonna also carry it up on the side of my nose because I like that look. Okay, I'm gonna blend it under my eye. And if you have issues with creasing, you don't have to carry your product all the way up to your lash line, your bottom lash line. You can keep it a little bit lower because that'll prevent the creasing. So if I had creasing issues, I would just stop it right there. But anyway, and you want to blend that out, I blend it into my eye so everything can be uniform. And then carry it down like so. Okay? All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I put it on the inner corner and the outer corner, and then like there. I'm trying not to be too technical with y'all. And then I just blend it. And don't be afraid, honey. It's better to overblend than underblend. When it looks good to your naked eye, that's when you can stop. But baby, keep blending until it looks good to you. That's what I like to say. All right, so we got that blended. The next thing we're gonna do is we are going to put it here. Concealer. I'm dipping my concealer right here, 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 and here. Just like a line down the middle. Okay. And now we're just gonna blend it out. Now watch how I blend this. I am going to go from side to side. Blend it over into your skin till you don't see any harsh lines. If you see a harsh line, take a brush and blend it out. We don't want to see these lines. You got to blend until you don't see any lines at all whatsoever. Okay, no lines, but we do want it to be focused. Okay, so now we're gonna do the center. Now we have our handy dandy puff. I forgot to mention this tool, but if you don't have this, you can use a beauty blender or you can use a brush. I like to use this. I'm going to link it in my description down below. Now that we have all of our product on our face, we are going to wipe off our foundation brush. Okay, we're going to wipe off the excess product. And we are going to go back in and blend everywhere. This is like a safety hack that a lot of beginners miss. It's just like, this is a way to reinforce your blending all over your face. So you just want to take it and blend all over your face. Like, just blend. This is for my everyday makeup girlies that don't want a super like distinct full beat, okay? So you just want to blend everywhere. Not too much under the eyes and like the places that you want to be really highlighted. But always go off of your naked eye, okay? If it doesn't look right to you, go back in and blend it, baby. When in doubt, blend it, baby. Okay, so now we got our setting powder, the Huda Beauty that we used on our brows. And we're gonna tap our brush into this top. And we're gonna use this much. We're gonna blend it into the powder puff first. So it should look like this when we're done, okay? And then we're gonna lift under our eyes and we're gonna check for creases. Do we see any? I don't know, but I always go back in for safety. I take my concealer brush and I blend it underneath the eyes before I set it, just in case. Another quick tip, go in with your setting spray in between applications. So after you get your concealer on, go ahead and spray before you set. Now that will make the makeup look super natural. Let it settle just a bit. Let it settle. Okay, now we're gonna go in and set under them eyes. Ready? I can't see, child. I'm trying to look in this monitor. Hold on. Okay, now we chin down. Okay, ladies, chin down, eyes up. Take our puff right here and we're gonna press, 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 and move. Press and move all up under that eye. Okay, now we're gonna carry it down and around our mouth right here. And I go back up on the other side. And this is a very minimal amount of product. I do it this way because this looks less overwhelming. Okay. Come in on the sides of the nose as well. Okay. You see, we're pretty much set. I'm gonna take a little bit more under this eye to make it even. Dipping back into my heater powder. I am so late for this appointment I'm about to go to. All right, we're gonna tap that. And boom. Now we're gonna put it everywhere else that we put our concealer, on our nose, on the side, all around on our chin, pretty much everywhere. Boom. Now we look like a ghost. So the next thing we're gonna do is take our finishing powder. I'm using the shade Dark, and tap our powder brush into that. Tap off the excess. We only need this much. And blend it all in. I don't go back in and blend over the highlighted areas. I just take it across around everywhere that I have the concealer, which is the T-zone. So I'll take it around all that area. Okay. And then we are going to take our contour powder. I promise we almost done. Cause you hear this, baby. Okay, remember, this is a simplified routine. It's not the full on beat, okay? Just simplified. Now I'm going in with my contour shade, which is essentially a bronzer, and it's by Fenty Beauty. It's Cocoa Naughty. I'm gonna use my contour brush. It has an angle and it's fluffy. I'm gonna tap that in here, and I'm going to go right here on my face. It should line up with the top of my ear and stop at the end of my nose. That's how I like to tell people. But we're gonna go ahead and blend that across the forehead. Now we're tapping it back in. Always tap off the excess, and we're going to put it here as well. Now mind you, we already got on our blush. If you want more, of course, you can always go back in, but this is just like an everyday look. Now we're gonna take our crease brush that we had, sweep that in our bronzer, and we are going to just go sweep across our eye just like that. We are just going to sweep across the eye, right in the crease. You should feel the indentation when you press up against your eye. That's where you want the product to go. Or you could sweep it all over your eyelid, but we just doing it this way. And now we're gonna do this side. Y'all, tell me if you guys are picking up on everything I'm showing you. If it's any step that you need help with, please let me know, because I'll make a dedicated video for that particular step, because I know I like move a little bit fast, but I'm trying to slow it down for y'all. All right, so now we're gonna contour our nose, girl. And I know you don't feel like doing that, but we doing it. So we're gonna take this product and we're gonna go down the side of our nose with that same brush, just a little, and we're gonna go into our eyebrow. Like, y'all see the technique? It's just like that. Do the same thing on the other side, right at the top of the brow. So we're coming on the sides of the nose. It's best to use a lighter bronzer or lighter contour shade if you are uncomfortable with this step, okay? So y'all see me rocking my baby and trying to do it. I'm telling you. All right, see, I like that. It's not too much. Okay, baby, we done, and we all. Hey. Okay, so now we are popping on some mascara. Today I am using L'Oreal's new mascara. It's the Paradise Big Deal mascara, and I'm actually testing this out in real time, so you're gonna get a real reaction from me. All right, so I'm gonna go in with this. Okay. I'm kind of skeptical of the rubber brushes because they don't always give me the fullness that I want. Because I like more volume when it comes to my eyelashes. But just pop your mascara on. Okay, so I'm not, it's okay, but I really want more volume with my mascara. So I'm gonna go in with another layer. Okay, got these new goodies from L'Oreal that I want to try. Okay, so we're gonna go in with her, but we are gonna go in with liner, honey. I am a liner girl. You can just put gloss on if you want to, but I am not that girl. Sorry, you could skip this step, but I'm gonna put my liner on and then I'm gonna put on this gloss. So I'm gonna take this liner right here from Maybelline. It's a natural brown, not from Maybelline. Ooh, this is from NYX. And this is the shade Total Baller. Okay, purr. All right, put a liner on. As for liner, I just smile when I do it and I go right on my natural lip line. On natural days, I like to do a color close to my complexion. So that's why I'm not using like chestnut or something like that. And I'm just gonna line it. I need to sharpen this because I'm like being lazy. Okay, that's the liner. The baby is babying today, okay? But what do we do, mamas? Still show up, okay? Okay, let's try her. Oh. I put my gloss over my liner as well. Really natural, not mad at it. This is the shade, oh, it got a little tingly vibe. It has like a little tingle to it. Milky New. Okay, so that is the complete look, y'all. Put a little bit more. And this is like the everyday glam look. Y'all talking about everyday makeup. Everyday makeup. If you work in a corporate office, you want to pick up your kids from school, you want to drop off line, and you just like doing a Zoom, you working from home. Like this is that look. So yes, I am a glamour girl, but this is that look, and I hope y'all like it. It's very simple, very doable. You can rewind this video as many times as you need. Simple and cute. And listen, let's be friends for real. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for, honey? This channel is tea, and we're going to be having so much fun over here. I am on a journey showing up for myself as a mother of 3, and I'm following my dreams, and I really want to take you along for the ride. So make sure you stick around. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. So yes, that is our look. Oh, the last step. Take our finish spray. I mean our setting spray. So we can have the natural like dewy glow from within. And I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury spray. Everything will be linked in the description box below. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, ladies. I hope it's everything that you wanted it to be. And I will see y'all in the next video.